Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We're having burgers and fries. Let's test the temperature. Means that I can go ahead and get those fries in. We've made our week. We have made our week. Just making some homemade cheeseburgers and fries. Have my condiments over here already ready to go. Just drain some of this juice from the tomato. Fresh off the vine. Have my lettuce, my tomato, and my white onion. We can go ahead and we can add our cheese. And this is American cheese. And I'm going to push these over to the corner. The middle is hot. On the corners, because those patties, and those are beef patties. So all we have to do now is just let these fries cook. It's the homemade fries for me. And I can go ahead on and crank the fire while I'm waiting on those fries. Let me go ahead on and assemble. Get the bread ready. On this bread, I'm going to put mayo mustard, and I'm an extra mayo type of girl on my burgers. If it ain't messy, it's not good. The bottom. I don't want to make a mess. I'm going to have to clean that up because I don't want it to get on my bread so that when I'm touching and trying to devour my burger, I don't have a whole bunch of mess. And I did toast these honey sesame buns. They are toasted. A burger to me is just always better when it's toasted. All right, let me go in with my mustard. Are y'all with me? So I have toasted these honey sesame buns. Added the mayo. Going right behind with the mustard. And I like to put my dressings on the bottom part of the bread. Okay, find the other bottom, that's the top, and this is the other bottom. Okay, if you want ketchup, it'll be the time to add it right now. Simply going to go in with my romaine lettuce. Going in with the onion, right on top. And then I'm going in with the tomato. And these tomatoes are right off of the vine. We washed everything off. Have everything over here good and prepped. And all we're waiting to do is to add on okay. So that's why I moved my meat over, these beef patties, I moved them over to the side so that they don't continue to keep on cooking. What they're doing right now, they're just staying warm and allowing that cheese to melt. The kids now are adding Chick-fil-A sauce to their burgers. Not a big fan of that. But to each his own. So those burgers are ready. We're just waiting on our fries. And then I'll put that on top of that so that everything is hot together. And then I'll just simply add my beef patties on top of the sesame side bread. And then all you have to do is just go ahead on and top it. I cannot stand to see a crumb. So I'm going to leave that seasoning salt out just in case my fries need to be dusted a little bit with it. Go ahead and get that ketchup together. Get it out. Easy peasy. I always had a burger night while I was raising my children. You can have you a burger night. You can have you a Taco Tuesday night. And it gives you a break in between. Because how difficult is it to make tacos? How difficult is it to make homemade fries? The hardest part, or the longest part, I should say, is to peel those potatoes and cut them up. And with the economy the way that it is today, we want to get our money's worth with our groceries. And it's more economical to just go ahead. I don't know why I don't take my tea kettle off of the stove when I'm cooking and I know it's grease behind it. I just don't know. But as I was saying, it's more economical to buy a bag of potatoes versus buying a bag of frozen fries. Okay? So you buy you a bag of potatoes and you can make as many sets of fries as you like. You can also do mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, smothered breakfast potatoes. But when you buy the frozen fries, that serves one purpose and one purpose only. So this is why I always go to the bag of potatoes versus the bag of frozen fries. Like I say, you can get a lot of meals out of that bag of potatoes. So let me go ahead and get my plate ready with those fries. That will be coming out. I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of paper towel down on there. Being that my pan is on a very low, there's no fire to backdraft and catch that paper towel. And those fries are cooking. I don't like to move them around too much because I don't like to break them up. When you move them around a lot, it'll break them up. And I don't need a whole bunch more of wait time on those fries. So I'm simply just going to go ahead and I'm going to get the burger together. You know, over there, guy. I can go ahead and touch the fire off on that. So those are my homemade cheese burgers. There's nothing to do but to add your bread on top of the veggies, put it together, and make it a burger. Waiting on these fries, they're coming up. Nothing like some hot homemade fries. Checking the temperature on that eye to see if I can pop my plate on there. And not quite yet. I don't like my fries really hard, but I do like a little crunch to them. Being that that's hot, the one with the extra tomato would be for me. And I'm just simply going to add a little salt and pepper to my tomato. Just add a little salt and pepper to my tomato. And I will be using a little bit of kosher salt. Not a lot. It's about that much. Allow it a chance to melt and absorb into the tomato. And by me just being a tomato lover, I like to have tomato on each bite. So I'm going to move her over there, and I'm going to put her there on top. That way I'm totally satisfied with each bite. Okay? And then I'm just going to simply go ahead on and put my burger together. Okay? You can put a pickle on the side if you like. There are pickles in the fridge. Center it, put it right there on top. That is the second burger assembled, and I am getting ready to focus on the fries. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start removing my fries. I don't like these plastic. They are hard plastic, but however, I don't really care for them. I like to use metal spoons because it carries the weight and it don't give you all that trouble on trying to remove things. However, when you invest in your cookware, you don't want to scratch it up. You know, so you have to just be patient and use the utensils that's not going to scratch it up. That's why I said I'm going to go ahead and start to bring those off, because I know it takes a minute to get the whole pan empty without making a big mess. And that about completes my video, my darling. These homemade burgers and homemade fries are ready. Grab me a nice cold Coke. Find me a good element. Let's see if I'll be able to get each and every one with this last scoop. Unsuccessful. This one definitely will be the last scoop. We can go ahead and turn the water off on that one. I know it's grease and I know it's fire, but I just like to say, I'm about to shut your water off. Okay. I'm going to lightly dust these fries with a little Lawry's. Homemade cheeseburgers and homemade fries. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week.